Be live now. We're gonna kind of give it a moment. I'm gonna search on this other phone, bring up the account, see who's watching. See how we do that. We
Watch your client.
figure it out from the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what we always have to do.
see how it's going.
You're rigged.
Yeah.
You're big. You're it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it blacked out. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the deal?
Some people will know though.
Yeah.
You matter. You're seeing this beginning of this
You know,
Facebook Live episode here at Veterans of Now.
Live from Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Clint Stone.
You have
used
something to
start
do
the
with
fire.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
My last name
We're
is
gonna
Stone
start-
Turner.
We're gonna use
By,
to start the fire.
introducing the folks that are here. You know, it's me, George Grundy II, your favorite veteran, and I'm here at 608 West Court Street, and I have some special guests here, and we're just going to talk about a few things that are going on in the community and a few issues that we have issue with. So I'd like to start to my right, your left.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm with the Water Unity Festival here in Flint, Michigan, set for Saturday, August 12th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Family-friendly event. We hope to see you down there.
Hi. Oh, go ahead.
What's the name of your group?
Oh, and I'm also a bass player in Mystic Dub,
Are you sure?
reggae band. Last time I checked.
Okay, Mom.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on, no problem.
Greetings and love. I am Rhea True, also with Mystic Dub and Rhyme Time Productions, to help put together the Water Unity Festival, and hoping to find some more solutions and answers, because this is quite murkier than what most people are aware of. So happy to be here.
All right.
Hey, this is James Everett, aka Sarge. Kind of be a part of the solution to end the pollution in my hometown of Flint. We welcome anybody else that wants to contribute, and watch out, all you dumpers. We got your number now.
There you go. Now, what does STAR stand for?
Sarge is an acronym. I'm a Christian ministry here. I work with the homeless and serving a righteous God eternally.
Awesome.
I just try to love these guys back to the better health, better life.
Okay, that's awesome. So you help the homeless community, and you all do outreach all over the country.
Yeah, social justice wherever we can, wherever we need to be.
And where are you from originally?
I grew up in San Diego, and bounced around the country a little bit. So Michigan's the 5th state I've lived in, but my dad was from the Dominican Republic, and
Why did you move around so much? Were you the military?
financially
military job?
irresponsible parents.
So
I love you.
You weren't a military child?
My dad was in the military. He was a Vietnam vet. He was a medic in Vietnam, but I didn't grow up with him.
Okay.
I met him when I was 19, but
Gotcha.
that's a lot more of my personal history than anybody here really needs to know right
Another
now.
story, another day.
Another day.
I was born and raised on the west side of the state, but both my parents are from Flint, Michigan originally, so I've been coming here as a child growing up, and now I find myself back here even more than when I was growing up, and I feel blessed to have met George F. Grundy II and Sarge here, and all my Flint family, I call them now.
So you've got roots here.
True.
That is awesome. So, for those that don't know, George II, I'm the director of Veterans of Now, which is a veterans nonprofit of 501c19. And I was in the Marine Corps, and born and raised in Flint, Michigan, drank the water, and I'm here trying to do as much as I can to help. So going back to the events, August 11th, there's a job fair. It's on my Facebook page, a job fair at Job Corps on August 11th from 10 to 3. We have over 40 vendors there, 40 vendors. So you have 40 different businesses and organizations and corporations you get to choose from to submit your resumes to. So it's a large event, and it's going to be a great event. And I reached out to Job Corps and Tracy Bowman to put this together, and they have just embraced the idea and helped me get this to a point to where it's an awesome thing. So August 11, 10 to 3, one of the biggest job fairs that the city has seen ever. So, and Vaughn was behind getting that together and helping that process. And then August 12th, the next day at Kersley Park, there's going to be a festival. And that festival is going to have approximately 8 to 15 bands playing, things of that nature, and vendors and all types of things. Just a full day of, just fun and family and just hope and encouragement and networking and everything that is opposite of what the press and the media and all the naysayers have said about Flint. It's bringing out the best of Flint and the best of the state and some people from across the country. So
it's a free festival.
It's a free festival, and the job fair is free also. So that's the other thing. So we sacrifice so you don't have to. So that's one of the things. Talk more about the event.
Well, we're really excited because in addition to all the amazing musicians that are coming together from around the country to provide their music and some hope and encouragement and their presence to let Flint know that there are people that have not forgotten. But we're also going to have some resources there. We will have bentonite clay foot soaks. So if you are suffering from heavy lead poisoning in your bloodstream and in your body, please come down to Kersley Park and soak your feet in the bentonite clay along with some warm water and some essential oils and some Himalayan pink salt to add more nutrients back to your body. So that's just one thing, one piece, but we're working on bringing some more solutions and resources for you to find what you are in need of.
In a public spotlight, just let people know that Flint's still dealing with these issues, and we can't let it be swept under the rug. We can't let it be silenced. We have to scream fire in a crowded theater. We gotta scream fire in a crowded theater. That's what this is all about.
It is.
It is time to stop being silent. Time to make this loud.
So there are over 5,000 communities and cities within the United States that are a hair away from what's going on with Flint. It's only because someone made a really poor decision, swapped the water lines, and then tried to cover up what they did by dumping a bunch of chemicals into these old pipes that pushed this over to be that, straw that broke the camel's back that caused this to surface. But the reality is that this is Flint, and as Sarge said, Flint is the stone that sparks the fire. And so if you notice on the Water Unity Festival poster, we switched the Flint logo from the arrowhead facing down to point it back up, because it's energetically, we are on the upswing. We are focusing up, we're focusing on solutions, and yes, we realize that, this is enormous. We're not thinking solution or delusions of grandeur that we are going to single-handedly fix this, but we are aware that the money was already put up for the whole city of Flint's pipes to be repaired, and then the EPA's funds got frozen. Like, what, have they proven that there are terrorists in the EPA? Because isn't that whose funds they freeze? Is, the things that are going on are not making sense. One of the calls to action that I put out there as a challenge right here, right now, is that apparently the blueprints for the pipelines throughout the city of Flint have mysteriously disappeared. So the city of Flint says that if anyone can find the layout of the pipes back from when they were laid back in whenever, how long ago? Over 50 years, because it was supposed to be a 50-year max, right?
Yeah.
So if anybody has access to that pipe,
That document, please
of
post
the
it
blueprints of
to
where
this
the
video.
pipes are, for Flint, Michigan, then hit up any one of us, and we'd be happy to help the state recover them and potentially other more responsible parties who will actually get the job completed.
Now, these are people that don't live in Flint talking about the things that are happening in Flint. If you have a disagreement with it, or you want to challenge it, or you say have a different opinion, then it's welcome. It's welcome to speak about it, because the conversation needs to be had. And I know other people are having the same conversation. We need to continue to have it and let the conversation grow, period, point blank, because it's costing a lot of people a lot of things just to try to figure out how to find which way is up in this whole thing. We did not create this situation on ourselves. We did not create this dialogue for ourselves. We did not create this narrative. It was created for us. And so if you slap me, you don't have the right to tell me how I'm gonna respond to you. So being that I have been slapped in the sense of the water and the people around me have been poisoned, don't tell me how I need to respond, or I need to calm down, or I need to act a certain way, because you initiated the first blood. So all this is a conversation. Be thankful that's what we're doing, is having conversations, trying to figure out how to adjust to what's already been placed in our lives. The lawsuit is already in place. The situations, as far as everything that's going on with the way that water's being handled, has already been in place. So we as a community are trying to figure out where and how do we help ourselves and help the people around us to move forward, even with all of this red tape and all of this bureaucracy and all of this BS that's been going on. So if there's anything that people want to say, then say it. We have no problem dialoguing. Just because people are saying stuff don't mean I agree with everything. Just because I say stuff don't mean they agree with me. We are having a conversation, and everything is on the table. Everything is on the table, because it needs to be on the table. And with me saying that, I want to hear from Sarge to see what he has to say, if there's anything he wants to say. And I'm saying, to this point, I do not disagree with Rhea.
Well, we have to be more about accountability. We have people that are so-called representatives of the city, of the state, then represent us correctly. You know, don't misrepresent, don't add to the problem, don't hide the problem. We need to get the backbone of back of the GM days, when they had enough. They sat down, and a lot of people say it costs a lot of money and a lot of problems, but it fixed a lot of things also. It's time to reunite, everybody to unite and just come together. You know, with more people involved, we'll have more solutions. We'll have more avenues to go down. This political crap that's going on here, it's worse than the toxic waste we have. You know, these people are not taking care of what they're supposed to. And come on, blueprints missing. Imagine that. Who's in charge of keeping the blueprints? And where would they have gone? All of a sudden, when we have a crisis.
And the thing with the blueprints, that's something that was stated about 2 years ago, about it being an issue when this thing had first started breaking open, and the people that knew the city were either retired or dead, because it had been so long ago, and then the records, there were not good records kept based on the information I remember. And so it's I don't know, it's either
Loss of information,
almost like
generational
where
gap.
you're just passing it to somebody and passing it to somebody else.
Right, but the reality is, so this friend that I asked about, well, where could we possibly start to look for it, he actually does water damage repair. That's what his business is. He brings in the big, dehumidifiers and everything, and huge scientific grade cleansers, and he said that there's water testing, or like water line finders, so it's
They
not
use it
so
for
it's not
misdig.
exactly so it's not like they can't find where the
Hello?
pipes are. I don't know where the pipes are. I don't know. Okay, so may I just touch on, because I've been getting this a lot, okay? People keep asking me, where are you from? Why are you involved? Why do you care? Okay, if I really have to put it out there, I'm a citizen of the earth. Okay, so need I say more? Apparently yes, I do. I have blood from all around the world. So, but at the same time, nowhere that I am I from. So, does that mean that I shouldn't care for anyone or anything or anywhere I am? I think it's just the opposite. Why shouldn't the neighboring town care? Why shouldn't the neighboring city care? Why shouldn't the neighboring state or country come and help? That's what the United States has been known to do for other countries, right? So, or supposed to be. But
So,
what, in the family history that I come from, my family history has seen a lot of opposing realities, both within the U.S. and outside the U.S.
Of supposed powers and their drastic measures in which they try to hold and keep that power.
One thing I would like to say is, you know, when she
Dean,
says,
I'm gonna get to you, Dean.
when she says, I'm not from Flint, so what? Look at the culture back in the days. Neighbors were neighbors. If you needed help, they lend a hand. Look at the Amish. You gotta raise a barn, they're all there. You know, what's the saying? It takes a village to raise a youngster. Come on. We gotta get back to the basics, guys.
So what we're gonna do is start. Dean. He said there are a lot of inaccuracies in your statement. He said that like the first time around. So Dean, if you would go into some things that you have issue with. I'm gonna keep reading. Virginia. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for all you do. Dean again. It's important that we remain accurate at all times. If we don't, they will discredit us at the first chance they can. Dean, in which way is what Rinzella said. So he's asking Dean where the inaccuracies are. I can't stress that enough. This is what he said next. And I guess after I said something, Virginia said exactly, very well said, George. Dean, too many to list, and it's consistently inaccurate, Rinzella. What was said that you referenced to? Mel Joy started watching. Dean, the pipes weren't swapped. They didn't dump chemicals to cover up. It's worse than that. The blueprints aren't missing. They never existed. The system is not 50 years old. It's much. It's much older.
Oh, yeah.
That's just from a few minutes. It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years with her. It's been 3 years. Okay. I'm not sure. Then Dean, I'll stop, but don't stop, Dean. Keep going. But we want to get it right. You know,
right.
bro. We want to get it right, but we just simply. You start reading, because my eyes started getting cross-eyed. Whoever's the best reader, and let me check this
I
code.
can't read that line.
Let's see. I'll stop, but we must simply be, impeccable with our words and actions. We've already been dismissed as crazy and stupid. I hate to see that contributed to further. Hi, Joyce. Mel says we definitely need to come together. We are meant to help lift, love, and support one another.
Amen.
We do agree with that. Yes, and thank you for all of your help on the project, Mel, too. It's been epic to work with you. Video cut out for a moment, but I see you now. Hi, Dean. We're back, I guess. So glad to hear it. So yeah, any wisdom,
And
especially if there are links that can help verify. I mean, it's kind of one of those things too that trying to find what
Misinformation, or if information ever existed, how do you prove that it never existed? That's the other side of it too. So it's just as hard trying to approach an issue like that as it is to try to find substantiated facts, if that is the case. So that puts us all in an awkward spot. And I just want to say, we don't think I don't care what anybody else has called you or said to you. We don't think anybody's stupid, any of that stuff. We come from love. We love everybody. That's what brought us here. Love brings us here to find these solutions, to work with you. And unless there's going to be a bridge, unless you're going to meet us halfway, we're already halfway there with love. We want to see that reciprocated. So,
Dean, we would love to get together with you to learn what you have and the insights that you can shine on this, because I do want to be accurate in what I say and in the information that I'm sharing and spreading, because it's so important. And it's, again, difficult to get the entire story, and even those who are collaborating and helping to network and spread the word after extended amounts of time of being under this strain, people are kind of going at each other, and so we're witnessing that. We're coming in to visit and to kind of try to help and to try to draw some national attention back to Flint to hopefully request that extension. Now, maybe, Dean, maybe you have insight on this. I heard just on Monday on NPR that 2 of the water pods have been extended indefinitely.
4.
Does anybody know?
4.
4 of them?
4 have been extended.
Okay.
I have to put that information out.
Okay. So that's
it's a start.
it's a step.
But the problem still is I understand, is the transportation and people who are homebound and can't get access to this water wherever these 4 locations may be. So whether it be community groups going to these water pod locations and talking within your communities, within your neighborhoods, see who needs it and who is able to go get it from these places, and be the neighborhood. Like milkman, you're the waterman, or the water boy.
Water boy.
Water boy, yeah.
Valkyries.
Calling all water boys, women, men, children.
So this is my thing. That we always come to this point, or we have been coming to this point, where information seems to be getting to some people but not others, and then the right information seems to not be getting to anyone. And then after people say, I guess, what they have read or believe to be true, it is discredited as if the person is trying to create a problem for the city. We need to continue. We need to start having a mass conversation on a regular basis as a community, good, bad, or indifferent, so we can make sure that we. And I know it's called city council, but a lot of people don't go to that, and they only go sometimes for the show. But we need to continue to have dialogue with each other and have more dialogue, so whatever we have left that we can use as an ace or as something to use, we need to be able to use that. We need to be able to come together and own the power and the structure that we have. We already been monitored by our Facebooks and social media by saying anything about the water. That's been said. That was on M Live. So we're already been monitored by all the things that we're doing in order to try to create opportunities for us to get out of the situation instead of being controlled by the situation. So why don't we create a place of conversation that is uninhibited by political concept, uninhibited by whatever bias is, and people can speak their piece under the amendments that we have to do that. I believe we need to truly do that, because it's needed. We have to do it. We don't have very much time. This is August. September is a month away. When September gets here, we don't have anything to really talk about because the lawsuit is in full effect. And whatever we didn't ask for or demand or protest for or become activists for, that time is going to be up around September. So it's now or never. We're at the last stretch. We're just around that little corner, and with that last 100 meters, we got to kick in and do everything we can in order to have our voice heard. So we won't just become the last case study or the pygmies or whatever you want to call it. Just disappeared. Into dust as a city. So I don't know.
can I just say
Yeah,
these?
go ahead.
So the water pods that are scheduled to close, I don't know, you were kind of touching on that we were just learning or heard that part of the reason that they're closing down water pods is that not enough water is getting picked up. I don't know if that's possible, if that's true. So if anybody can shine a light on that, that would be helpful, because everyone that I had heard from that was in relation to one of the water pods said that within 3 or 4 days all the water was gone, so it didn't sound like they had excess. But the water pods that are closing August 11, so that's the day of the job fair and the day before the Water Unity Festival, the pod located in the 2nd Ward at St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church will be closed as of August 11, and then the pod located in the 3rd Ward at Calvary Missionary Baptist Church.
I need everybody watching to share this video. Share it, share it, share it, and tell people to share it, please, and
Put
thank
the
you.
word out.
The water pods that will be closing as of September 5th are the pod located in the 5th Ward at the Old Flint Farmers Market, the one located in the 7th Ward at Grace Emmanuel Baptist Church, and the pod located in the 8th Ward at Lincoln Park United Methodist Church. There are 4 pods that are said to remain open past September 5. So the remaining pods that will have water will be the pod located in the 1st Ward at Mount Carmel Baptist Church, the pod located in the 4th Ward in the Franklin Avenue lot, the pod located in the 6th Ward at West Court Street Church of God in Christ, and the pod located in the 9th Ward at Easttown Bowling Alley. So those are the 4 locations that will remain open, and I hope
And
that...
that's straight from the state. I got that information from the state. I put it on my Facebook about a week ago. So it's out there. That's what it is if you haven't heard it. And go on my Facebook and reshare it. And thank Ryan for sharing.
Thanks.
Awkward silence.
Thank you, George. Sorry. Just trying to think what next.
So what other things have you heard? Let's dispel all of the possible rumors or the things, the misnomer. What about the chemicals that you were talking about? The
There's
radioactive.
a lot of dump sites that are being exposed and found. Most of our low-income housing is built on dump sites. They're using the old Fisher coal water as a dump site. I don't know how many thousands of gallons of toxic waste, but it's hidden stuff being brought to light. You know, and who are we going to hold accountable?
So I know somebody was saying earlier about how Canada is getting ready to dump radioactive materials here in Flint on Coldwater Road.
I might go to that one. I'm sure they have several that they use to disperse it. You know, it ain't gonna all
So
over
is
one
that just
place.
rumor or is that known?
It was said as of at the Chippewa River Water Festival
We got
a couple
information in the
weekends
map
ago
on that.
they got permission, and Michigan is getting paid to receive it, and that they've also passed a law that no one can protest anything that is going to bring income into the state. Also, that they don't have to mark the trucks to notify that it is nuclear waste.
Correct.
Sounds a little shady to me.
I need some verifiers
If that is in fact
because
true.
that's horrible. So that's horrible. So we're just a dump site.
Please disprove us. We're asking you to please disprove us and share whatever information you can with us.
So now we're getting paid to accept death being delivered to our state. That doesn't make no sense.
Mm-mm.
We want life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to rejuvenate these people. We don't want to see no more death.
No.
They're gonna put this up in the ground and just leave it there.
So understood. Now, talk about, you deal with the homeless population here in Flint.
Yeah.
So talk about that. Talk about the things that, Flint is already economically stressed.
It is.
Now talk about the folks that are beyond economically stressed and what are different things that can happen or need to happen or that you see that are travesties to you.
Well, I mean, all the jobs that were siphoned up out of here, I mean, just really started this depression of income. Jobs are just totally necessary. We need jobs to come here. These homeless people are homeless not by choice. Well, maybe a couple, but few, but they're not being taken care of. Flint residents aren't being taken care of. This little bit of stuff that they do have for them, it's just really meager things. We have all these empty houses that could be opened up to these people. When Walling was in office,
But go to some of the things you've seen out in the streets that really bother you.
It really bothers
That
me.
need to be addressed.
Is when you find a guy that's sleeping in a brush pile and he's calling that home. That's like Grizzly Adams kind of stuff. When you see parents, yeah, I hate to say this, but giving up their kids for drugs. I hate to see this. When all this money that's earmarked for certain things doesn't get to where it's supposed to go, and it causes more problems to become worse. There's a lot of so-called government monies that has been said that they're coming here, but you can't see any sign of it. When you talk about the blueprints, as we were saying, or all this pipe work, why can't they use some of these guys that are homeless as grunts if they don't have the skills? They can dig holes. They can help move things around. The last mayor we had didn't want to do anything like that. We offered to do all the care of the abandoned properties. Sergeant Company was going to set up lawn crews, board up crews, paint crews, clean up crews. And he told us we can't do that, we're a union town. I don't see no unification in this town, or anybody uniting. So, and this was all we wanted was a building to house these people. In return, we'd give them the labor. Kind of sound like a pretty good deal to me, but it never took place. I don't think maybe that's why he didn't get reelected. I don't know, but that's just a joke. But this new mayor we have now hasn't even approached us about helping the homeless. And they're saying that she needs to be recalled. I'm not trying to get into the politics of things, but what about defending the people that can hardly take care of themselves?
Yeah, and that's why I got into what I got into. That's why I started Vine. Just short on my story is that I started Vine after I moved back home to Flint. And so I got out the Marine Corps in 2012, ended up homeless, and wasn't considered chronically homeless because I was living in my car and didn't receive certain benefits that were supposed to be available to veterans because I wasn't on alcohol or drugs. I was getting unemployment through the military, so I was making $50 too much to receive housing vouchers for housing, and everything that was a hole that I could fall through, I fell through. And so I things had changed. I eventually got my disability through the military and got me a place, but I needed to leave North Carolina and come home. So I came to Flint, which was one of the best things for me. And since being here, I moved back and got here in January 2014. And it kind of hit me later on that year that, it didn't hit me then. Now, I remember the water thing started happening, but it didn't hit me until like maybe the end of 2014, beginning of 2015. Because what was happening, and I reflect back on it, there was so many elderly people dying that it didn't make sense. I told my parents I wasn't going to no more funerals. I said, I'm not doing a funeral. This is crazy. It's like they getting shot or something. You know, because these were people that were walking every day, healthy, drank a lot of water, always, never had problems. So they go from being healthier than me to just, now they dead. So I don't know how can we prove if it was the water or not, but all I know is that a lot of our elderly people were buried in 2014 and 15. And I think half of them didn't have a reason to be dead or die unless they were actually poisoned. It's my opinion. So it started hitting me real hard because I'm seeing people losing hair and talking about losing hair. Their kids got real bad eczema, what's it called? Eczema and stuff like that. Like just bad cases of all kinds of stuff. And then I'm know people that deal in plumbing, and they're talking about different stuff, and it's like it got crazy to me. So I'm still going through the process of trying to get the house that I'm currently in, and they got done with the parking lot. So by that time I had created the Veterans of Now, and I got with the food bank, and I asked them if I could receive water. So we worked that out, and since even before I moved into the house, I've had water here to try to help with the community. So I say that to say this, that for me, it's beyond just a regular, it's beyond just a regular fight to me. It's life or death. You know, either you're gonna do and you're gonna do until you don't have, or you're just not gonna, just might as well just sit down. And this is not the time for anybody to sit down. This is the time for everybody to get up and try to figure out what they can do. Because it only takes one person not to do right for evil to win. You know, all you got to do is get up and speak. All you have to do is say no to what's wrong. And when you do that and you stand up on those things, then evil cannot just run you over. But if you just sit there dormant and silent and you get scared when it gets a little rough, then you're going to get ran over.
It's like they say, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for everything.
Fall for anything.
I want to just encourage, too, that George does photography and has shirts that you can order for Veterans of Now to help him remain in this place. He is a major vortex of support in this area of Flint. And every time we've come here, you know, people are coming for food, for water, for prayer, for, you know, just some conversation and some communal support. And so, you know, this place needs to stay here. So if you can support Veterans of Now, shout out, hire George for some photography shoots.
Donate some money.
Just donate some funds so that they can stay here, because Flint needs all the help they can get. And, you know, especially if you are not in Flint, you gotta care, because if you don't, you will definitely see this at your door. And that is not a personal threat. I'm not the one to be able to make that happen.
So goes Flint, so goes the rest of the country.
And
we are the canary in the coal mine.
Yes, and that's why this is happening here, because this was such a spark, and the biggest industry the United States had seen was the automobile industry. You know, we all have been affected by that, and whether positive or negative, we've all been affected by that, by the auto industry. And so the fact that this can happen in such a city that was the epicenter of what the United States had is a huge call to awareness that, you know, if this can happen here, it can happen anywhere.
If I could, I'll put it like this. Flint, Michigan is the Silicon Valley of the industrial age. This is the place where, okay, Henry Ford gave us mass production, but the engineering, the technology, and everything was cultivated here. We have Buick, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and on and on. It was General Motors, a collective. It was a collective of organizations and engineers that came here in order to better the technology. You're not driving what you're driving without Flint involved in it.
Otherwise, you'd still be in your horse and carriage instead of the horseless
Giddy
carriage.
up.
Right.
Give us some help.
A lot of the technology that you know of right now, you wouldn't have without Flint, Michigan, without the people. And okay, yes, General Motors is the company and it is the platform which was used, but the people that came here had to work there. So you talking about the people, the access to information came through the people, and the people had to come to Flint to do that. So now we have all these engineers, these brains, these things, these thinkers that came here in order to produce and to give to the rest of the world to create this supernova of, industrial concept. Now we're being left in the dust as if, wham bam, thank you. This is what you get after capitalism is done with you. You just don't care anymore. But you have to give us credit for our history. You have to at least respect us for what we've sacrificed and given. During the war efforts, where did the country go to?
They made their tanks in Grand Blanc. They made their machine guns right here at AC.
Okay.
They used our factories to get everything they needed to keep this war.
So have we not been a good friend and a good brother, good cousin?
That's part of our problem, man.
Have we not given to our country the way we're supposed to? So why are we getting pissed on?
Hey, and before the automobile, you only had to know two things for a license: giddy up and whoa.
Yeah. So now you're talking about just telling people that they're not even valuable enough to drink a clean cup of water. Our water was 3.5 times worse than toxic waste. How does that happen? Toxic waste on every movie you watch is the worst thing ever. We had water worse than that.
Look, you see the big commercials about all these foreign countries and their water situations, and our federal dollars and all this church money goes to help them. All we're asking is to help us. Our water's even worse.
Give us an opportunity to help ourselves. Stop holding on to concepts of thinking that don't work. I just told you this is a city in an area of thinkers, Silicon Valley of the industrial age. Durant he saw the future then. Charles Stewart Mott saw the future. Mott still controls and owns a lot of the things that go on here. He has foundations in the top 50 foundations in the world. So that means that there are resources here. That means that people thought enough of the city to invest and to say, we know that this can be a great place, and it is a great place, and I'm going to invest in this great place. So logistically, go there. Flint, Michigan is the best city in the state of Michigan logistically. When you want to go anywhere in this state, whether by land, by air, or by whatever, you're an hour, 2 hours, no more than 3 hours away from that location. 2 hours for most. International trade, an hour away. So what is it that if Microsoft or if Facebook or Google or any of the companies in Silicon Valley want to move here, they can move here tomorrow and pretty much set up, because there's so much infrastructure that was left here based on information that was told me. Now, if they lied to me, then shame on them. But I'm just saying what was said to me, that we have fiber optic infrastructure under the city in the where General Motors used to have certain plants, that if anybody want to come here tomorrow, they can hook up and just go.
Hook it up.
Hook it up.
So what is it that, okay, you worried about crime and all this stuff? Why wouldn't you want to come to Flint when it's the least expensive place to be? Why wouldn't you want to come to Flint and create jobs and opportunities when you have everything you need to do any case study you want, to build any invention, to build anything that's going to create the solution for something, the solution for poverty, the solution for gentrification, the solution to dirty water, the solution to whatever it is that America concentrate. Anything that you can think of in this country, it is here in Flint, Michigan. So if you're a major corporation or some megala whatever person that has a lot of money to spend, then you can spend it here at fractions of a dollar if you're spending it somewhere else, because it's set up to happen here.
We don't work for beans and rice, but we work good.
So give us the opportunity to help ourselves. Don't just take our voice away and take our opportunity away and just tell us that we're valueless. You know, I'm looking at it like this. You have to give people opportunity in order to see if they're worth the investment.
Well, everyone is worth the investment, and there wouldn't be crime if there was a strong strategic scenario of a system. It's not that hard. There have been plenty of countries and civilizations that have done it. Take the Taínos, for example. The Taínos were very, very happy, very flourishing people, prosperous. They worked together, they were very communal, and now they're said to have been extinct. Well, I'm here to tell you that the Taínos are not extinct because I have Taíno blood, for one. And so just like Flint, you know, everywhere where there's suffering and where there's where there's suffering and where there's lack of jobs, of course crime is going to go up. We all know that this has been a cycle that has been set forth all the way back from before the Industrial Revolution. And we can't blame any one particular race or country or nation for what it has contributed. It all comes down to every single individual. If you're a person that does the right thing, then there are blessings on your head. If you're a person that does the wrong thing, then there's going to be trouble somewhere along the line. Okay? So, you know, that I personally put out there also to the current owners of GM and all of these large corporations that have the power to, they're outsourced to the other countries, but you could do it here in Flint for cheap just as easily. You know, I just was talking to some people who were like, call on Elon Musk, call on
the guy from
JP.
5 Hour Energy Drink who has water purification systems for his plants, desalinization plants, water you can turn ocean water into drinkable water. There are the solutions. They're using them, but not here in the forgotten city of Flint, Michigan. That crucible may be, it might seem shattered, but remember, everything is a remnant, and can always be that unification, and that's where we're focused. Solutions focused in Flint. That's where we're at.
Hey, I want to borrow on John Lennon's one of his songs. All we're saying is give Flint a chance. The peace is good, but we want to give Flint a chance.
Look, they say necessity is the mother of all innovation, right? Y'all heard that before? Necessity.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So everything about Flint is necessity. You have to. It's a place either you survive or you don't. Now it's a place that you have to. The water. It's just everything is survive or don't. So where do you think a lot of innovation is going to come from? A place that has a lot of stress on it. It has to come up with solutions. That has to come up with opportunities to get themselves in a different place.
Pass the worst to the best.
I've gone through so many situations that it's impossible for anybody from anywhere else to beat me. That's my mentality. It doesn't matter what you're good at and how good you're at it. You're not going to outdo me in anything because I'm going to do whatever it takes in order to win, to find solutions, to help people, to create, to be the master of the situation in front of me instead of being ruled by the situation in front of me. That's the other thing that I believe that folks forgot about. That you're coming to a place that from growing up from my childhood and the things around me, I grew up where I had people that I knew were selling crack to our teachers. The crack era. I know you guys remember that. So you telling me that I had to go through a whole situation to survive, get past this stereotype, get past this thing, get past that. Oh, you're going to die before this. You won't graduate this. You know, you're going to be locked up or shot up or whatever, and get past all those different things. And then just to get to this point, I went to the military, got past all those things. I went at 29 years old, so I was an old crazy man going to the military with all these young 18 and 24-year-olds. And then I got through that, survived that. And then I get home only to be given toxic water. Do you think I'm going to just give up and die? Do you think I'm going to be afraid of the things that are coming at me that may not seem conducive to my life and lifestyle? I will adapt and I will change and I will conquer the situation. I will adapt, I will change, and I will conquer the situation, regardless of what is thrown in my way. And you're talking about a whole city of people that will adapt, change, and conquer the situation. We are not going to fall on our faces and just give up. Not going to happen. So it's best for you to get on the side of the people and help them help themselves instead of saying, well, I don't know about. No, you need to know about it. You need to bet on this city. You need to give the city the opportunity, because if you give us the opportunity, then we'll create 100,000 other solutions for the rest of the country.
Because
And if you're trying to buy the city cheap, you aren't going to have that happen, because the people will still be here, no matter what you throw at them.
And somebody needs to help Flint figure this out, because the rest of the country is going to be facing these issues before long.
So let's start on the
So
solutions.
we got to start working together. And I'm just at a point that I'm not here to ask permission. And one of the things I wanted to light on what George just said about winning, we got to change what we think is winning. Because on one side, I could even hear it in my mind, someone would think, well, he's going to win. That sounds like a test or a challenge. But the point is, there's only one way for anyone to win. And that's for us to work together and to get this stuff taken care of. So the point is that no matter if the corporations decide to get in line, do what they're supposed to do, and, head this up, start up the new revolution of a beautiful new industry of sustainability and green roofs and solar and wind power and water power. There's a million different ways. You guys know about it more than the common person does. So the reason that you're trying to hold it back doesn't make sense, because when it all comes down to it, you're still going to want somebody to be serving you food or to be growing your food, because those who own the corporations, if you do deplete the population as they're trying to do, who's gonna be growing your food? You're gonna be out there in the field yourself. So either, we can all just go ahead out now and start growing our food together side by side, because that's the boat we're in. We are all equal. The water on Earth, the wealthy people need it just as much as people who don't have the money. And the only wealth we all have is the breath in our chest, that the beat of our heart. That's the only thing we have. So.
Hey, every time you guys start a car, think of Flint. Every time you got to go down the road in your vehicle, think of Flint. Every time you turn your radio on, do your little rock out in your car, think of Flint. I'm not saying you have to come with everything you have, but give everything you got in your heart to help in Flint.
I feel your hearts right now, watching. I can feel it. It's warm, it's inviting, and I know there's more of you out there. I know those corporations that could come in and give the spark again to the city, to this populace. I can feel your hearts. It is there. It beats within us. Guess what makes our heart beat? Guess what our blood has? It's water. We are water. I feel your water. You feel my water. I go like this, you feel a wave. It's just how it works. Water is a giant computerized system. It's the largest intelligent organism on the planet. Rocks have nothing against water. Water is here. Water
defies science.
Water defies physics, defies science. It is a mystery that gives us life. And unless we treat it with respect, do you expect to be treated the same way?
Mm-hmm. So
the golden rule.
Oh, sorry.
It's
sorry.
okay.
Virginia, I was wondering what you were referring to in your comment about don't let them do this shit to Alabama. I imagine that your crisis spout up, but if you would enlighten us on that. And then also, Mel, I do want to mention that we will be setting up a couple different water purification systems that we've been learning about. Again, the question is, how pure does it get the water to be? Because I don't know entirely what chemicals we're working or dealing with, trying to filter out. So We won't get it done before the August 12th event, but I am talking with someone with the DNR who will help us with before and after testing so that we can
Prove or disprove some of these.
prove and also potentially put them in different stages of filtration so that hopefully we can figure out a natural, inexpensive combination for filtering the water. Let's see, who else? Oh yes, I know JP with Paul Mitchell also does have a water purification system and program that he works with in Africa. So we are calling for help if anybody has a foot in the door there. I did actually just yesterday do a presentation with a friend of mine at the Paul Mitchell School for Cosmetology
In Grand Rapids.
So I'm doing my best to try to link in through that, but because that contact didn't come through me, it didn't feel quite right to dig deeper. So I'll try it in another way. But any help to get the word out to JP from Paul Mitchell that Flint needs help, please, please, please.
Share.
Yes, and Mel is mentioning that Detroit water is already known to be poisoned, but even there it's being swept under the rug. It's...
How big
yes.
is the rug?
About the size of Michigan, at least.
I think it's coming out the other side. They're having to sweep so much underneath it.
Let me say something else real quick.
Okay.
You know, I want to speak on the other part of it too. Those people, black folk, African Americans, some folk or some people say, well, they don't do anything for themselves. They don't try. Let me tell you about those folk or these people or folks that I'm standing on the shoulders of, the black people that I come up under. Flint is also a place where any minority, whatever that may look like for you, under any structure of that word, can live wherever you want to in this country because of the black folk in Flint, Michigan, because of the laydowns and the sit-downs. Because they said, we make the money, we can live where we want to, and we're not going to allow you to continue to treat us like this when our color is all the same color. Our money's the same color. So these folks over here, those people over here in Flint, Michigan, stood up for what they believed and knew was right. Stood up for the things that they wanted and caused the country to write legislation for everybody else, whatever your culture may be, whoever you may be, can live wherever you want to, in the nicest part of the United States or the worst part of the United States. Because of Flint, Michigan, you can live wherever you want to as a minority because of the black folk here. So I can keep going. There's so much I can keep going on about the history of what we have given. And look, we don't mind paying our due share, but just don't treat us any kind of way. Give us the opportunity to be treated right and to help create solutions for the situation. Because that's I don't know. I'm gonna keep rambling. That's all I want to say. Anything else that anybody asked?
Well, I do agree with what you're saying because one of the things that we've gotten for responses out when we're on the lake shore, trying to call for sponsorships because there's a lot of wealth out there, and a lot of the people that are out on the lake shore have wealth directly from the automobile industry. I would say 30% of the people that we talk to care and are already on board in their hearts, even though probably another 15 to 20% of those 30 people don't really know exactly how to get involved. Then there's another portion that, they care, but then after the fact they are thinking, oh, well, who are these people? What are they trying to get on the side of what they're doing? We're volunteering our time 100%. We are putting our personal dollars in to print posters. Granted, we did just have a beautiful stack of posters and handbills that we will be flooding the city with as of tomorrow, by Commercial Graphics.
Thank you, Commercial
So
Graphics.
thank you, Commercial Graphics, for printing posters, and thank you also to Citizen Shirt for printing these Michigan unleaded shirts.
If you want to know what I want to get out of this, it's just some clean water.
Yeah.
I want clean water.
Is that too
I
much
have
to ask?
6 kids, and I want my grandkids and my great-grandkids to have clean water. That's what I want to get.
Is that too much to ask for?
And that's what they deserve.
Oh,
You sterilize a bottle before you feed them. What about sterilized pipes? Why not some clean pipes? I don't want my stuff delivered through the waste pipes. I want it coming through clean pipes. Help us out, people. And I'm going to challenge anybody that came from Flint and made it big or made it, better. Give back from where you came from. With the powers, I'm going to challenge the whole alumni. Give back. That's too hard to ask. You give back to the parties, the get-togethers, and we got a Flint Stoners 5th annual get-together at the Wooden Keg. That's where everybody gets together, whoever was from Flint or still is in Flint. There's about, I don't know, several thousand people that show up. But, you go to Tim Hortons, you spend $3 for a cup of coffee. Why not give up a cup of coffee and get $3 to George? He likes coffee, but he needs some money right now, guys. I'll bring him some coffee. You bring him some income. How's that? I'll challenge you to that.
How do people get money to you, George?
How many?
No, how
If
to?
they want to send you some
Yeah, if they
money,
want to send you some money.
don't send it to me, because I'll probably have a Snickers bar.
Listen at you. Well, we bank with PNC Bank, so Vaughn has a bank account.
Veterans of Now at PNC Bank. Please go help.
I'm sure you won't mind if you stop by and have a chat and leave a check.
You can go to United Way, and they've been a friend to us at times, and they will vouch or hold for us and get it to it.
Just put it in a memo, Vaughn.
VON.
Veterans are now, yeah. I've had a couple. What do you call those online crowdfunding?
Oh, like a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Had
Go
GoFundMe.
fund him. Don't fund me.
GoFundMe accounts out there. I have to update them. They didn't get the traction that we were looking for. But or come by and put money down and get
Yeah,
order a shirt.
represent.
Meet George in person right here.
Order a shirt.
He's a good
So
guy,
I'm
man.
like this. I'm horrible at asking people for things like money, but if I have a product, I will sell it. So we have the Vaughn shirts. We have them, you get them different colors, different styles, even having it black and white. So those are different ways. But my thing is just keep fighting, keep fighting. I'm putting my all into this as much as I know, and I'm very ignorant of a lot of things. But I know one thing: I'm not going to stop until the last pipe or the last issue that we have with this water is done, regardless of what a lawsuit says or regardless of what somebody verbally says. If there's some issues in the city with people and their water and we're still getting these inaccurate readings or things, I'm going to have something to say or I'm going to be a part of that fight. I might not be in it the same way you are. There's some other people that I associate with that their style of fighting is different from mine, but I'm going to still stay in the fight.
Hey, getting back to my alumni members, I know the families of the Georges. Victor George Sr. Oldsmobile is gone now, but Sims Chevrolet, Susky Buick, come on guys, I don't want your big part of your profit, but how about a helping hand?
Yeah.
Just a helping hand.
I don't want any handouts. The helping hand and
How about a hand
yeah.
up?
Yeah. opportunities and a helping hand. You know, we here, the folk I know in Flint don't believe in handouts. You know, they just need help. Yep. So, I don't know. Are we done? We're signing off. Everybody's getting quiet.
Yeah, we just want to say we love you all.
All love, all around.
All love.
And
Keep sharing,
maybe come spend a day.
please.
Yep. So when I see my fingers go up on this delayed thing, then I'm going to cut it off.
Please do what you can to help. Come out for the job fair on August 11th, and then the Water Unity Festival August 12th.
Free, family
Stay strong.
friendly. Stay strong. God bless.
All right. We're out.